Imagine a place where cannonballs are encouraged, marshmallows are mandatory, and just 5 more minutes turns into all day. That's Veranda Beach Resort on Lake Osoyoos, one of the warmest freshwater lakes in North America, located on the border of Canada in Oroville, Washington. The vibe is delightfully old school, with time spent with family and friends at the beach, on the lake, and under the stars. Sounds of laughter, dogs, and screen doors are the soundtracks of your stay. Rent your own fully furnished cottage with Wi-Fi and all the comforts you need. It's the best of then with all the ease of now. Veranda Beach Resort. Come play, stay, and make memories. Visit verandabeach.com now to book your stay.
Don't ask me to talk.
And welcome to yet another exciting edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. One of your podcast pals here, Eric Ryder, along with...
I am Stacey Heller, and I am live at Veranda Beach. So our sponsor is Veranda Beach Resort, actually. And I spend the summer here. If you are a listener of the show, then you know that I record from here. But I'm normally not out on the veranda, the famed veranda. And here I am. And so excuses and apologies and your welcomes in advance for the potential sounds of summer that are going to be happening around me as we record.
What a great place to be for the holiday weekend. Today, as we record, it's Canada Day, and you're on the border there of British Columbia. Yep. And this weekend on Saturday is the 4th of July, Independence Day. So you kind of straddle both worlds there.
Totally.
So, yeah, a great place to be for the holiday weekend. What are the festivities like there? Do they shoot off fireworks over Lake Osoyoos or anything like that?
So they do. They do a fireworks display at the other end of the lake, U.S. side. So, and then I don't know what they do.
Yeah, it would be weird if the Canadians did it for 4th of July.
They're like, yay, your own place.
We just love a party.
I mean, honestly, they're so nice. It might be.
Right. No.
But normally, Veranda Beach actually does its own fireworks. We have somebody that coordinates it and you can buy the fireworks. But this year, probably smartly so, they have banned extracurricular fireworks. I think, wildfires and things that can get started.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, honestly,
it's weird to hear that it's this year when every year there's a huge problem.
Right? So normally, like in town, there's actually a truck that you can go up to and you can buy fireworks and they sell them. And this year they have banned them. And so the only exception that they were able to get is the professional display that will go off on the 4th of July. And I just think that's smarter. It's less distracting. Now I know where to look. That makes it easy. And you don't have to worry. A couple of years ago, we had some jackass. Can I say jackass? Too late.
Yeah, of course.
They were on a...
We're not talking about Johnny Knoxville either.
No, we're not. We are talking about somebody who should have known better, and they let off fireworks from their boat. And, wind and water and a boat. And it proceeded to land on the side of the lake, and a whole little field went up in flames. And so talk about not knowing where to look. It was like, should we look at the fire that could become much bigger, or should we look at the fireworks going off?
Right.
Holy cow. So that luckily got taken care of pretty quickly. But, it's amazing. The smallest thing. So I think it's really smart. But we have everything from pickleball tournaments to bingo to happy hours to, we have all of our Canadian friends and neighbors flying their Canada flags. And then, of course, because apparently we wanted to match with Canada, we also have our red, white, and blue. They're red and white. We're red, white, and blue. We all have our stuff that's hanging. So it's a really festive time to be here, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the weather is supremo. Uh, and it's just, I don't know, it feels like quintessential holiday here. There's kids running all over the place and dogs running all over the place, and the smell of hot dogs and burgers, and um it's just a fun time. 4th of July just feels like such quintessential summer to me. Do you have
Yeah.
plans?
We do have plans. Every year, I like to get a seat on one of the waterfront restaurants down in Tacoma on Ruston Way, have dinner, and then watch the fireworks from their deck. And usually it's a front row seat because they shoot the fireworks off from a barge in Commencement Bay. And so you've got a fantastic view. You just had a great meal. You get to enjoy it. So that's what we typically do for our celebration. But Tacoma does 4th of July right. There's no place I'd rather be than Tacoma on 4th of July. It's just they've got a great festival, the Tacoma Summer Blast, that takes place on the Dune Peninsula in Tacoma, and it's gorgeous.
What is it called? Summer Blast?
Yeah, Tacoma Summer Blast.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a lot of fun. They've got music, food, all the stuff that you would want, and then of course you can just have a seat anywhere and enjoy fantastic views of the fireworks. And yes, the professional display is the way to go. Our city does it better than anybody else. It's amazing. It's like 2 for 1 with the fireworks over the water, because you get the reflection in the bay of each firework. So it's gorgeous. And it's fantastic. And the dingbats that shoot them off in their backyard are missing out on the really good stuff. And also, missing fingers usually.
Well, and terrorizing poor pets.
And terrorizing pets, yes.
I mean, poor Gertie must be shaking in her little boots.
Yes. It's funny. I heard that Katy Perry song earlier today. That's firework.
Baby,
you're a firework. Yep. And I was just like coming up with parody lines like, "You're annoying dogs like a jerk."
Okay, Weird Al.
You're illegal in the city limits, rather than the
right.
The rest of the I don't really know the tune to that song except for the chorus. So I would have to work a little harder if I wanted to take that to the top of the
That's fair.
charts.
That's fair.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's also a weird thing. I know that on the East Coast, having grown up there and spent the first however many years on the East Coast, 30 plus, summer really started Memorial Day. Like, we really started to get the summer weather in May. And so we had really most of May, all of June. And so the 4th of July felt like it was midsummer, even though it's really like a week and a half after the official start of summer. But in the Pacific Northwest, it's like summer starts on July 4th. Well, sometimes the 5th. And it's such a different thing. It feels more like a kickoff to summer.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends from year to year. Like, for instance, we've had a gorgeous June with like really hot weather. But then we've had some cloudy, cool days, too. We've had like kind of a real mix of stuff. So sometimes, you just can't plan it, is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
I remember one time I'm like, "Mom, come on up and visit. The 4th of July would be perfect. It's beautiful, sunny, gorgeous." And then it was cold.
Right.
We had rain, and I'm like, "Oh boy, never mind. I'm not gonna try and schedule anything from now on if it's weather dependent." But most of the time, we have gorgeous 4th of Julys, and it looks like this weekend is going to be really nice here as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and I'm especially excited because I will have 3 of my 4 kids at the lake house, and Pete's coming in from San Antonio, and 2 of the kids have brought friends. So it will be a full house. The rum punch will runneth over, and there will be games to be had and laughs abound. I'm so excited. It makes my heart so full. It's so funny. Like, I am always so content to just kind of like hang, and the kids, it's like they've already played the ring toss game. They've already brought out the what do you call it? Cornhole game. Like, we've played cards. We've, been doing all of these things. We also have been watching the World Cup, obviously. So, well, not obviously. You and I, you and I would not be watching it if it was left to us. However,
Right.
Will and Grace's boyfriend Jerry, they're more into it, and Jerry especially. And so we will be watching it tonight. We went to Canada the other night and had dinner at Smitty's. Eric, you've gone. And
Yeah.
and then afterwards, we went mini golfing, which was super fun. I started out so strong. And then mini golf is one of those things. I don't know about you. You get in your head, and the next thing you know, you go from like, one shot, two shot to like 5 shots to like cramming the stupid ball into the hole. And you're like, whatever, I don't even care anymore. So that was my trajectory. But then we went to a pub, and one of the soccer games was on. So it was kind of cool being international watching the World Cup.
Sure, sure. Now, do they call it miniature golf in Canada?
They did.
Did you see signage? Because some places like the UK, they call it crazy golf. And I just think that's a much more fun name.
It's totally a more fun game.
Than miniature golf. But
no, it was miniature golf, and it was, but it was crazy. And it's amazing the competitiveness that comes out in such like a silly game. And like just trying your hardest to show off your putting skills and the whole thing. I'm like, this is so stupid, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, it's been
this
fun.
Is crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy golf. Yeah. So, that's been going on. And then last time I mentioned my mahjong affliction and how I've been playing. And I ordered my mahjong set, the one that I am committing to buying that will be the centerpiece of my mahjong playing. And it's super cute. I'm so excited. So now I need to step away from the various mahjong sites.
Step away from the mahjong, ma'am.
Exactly. Because otherwise, I could see how you could just go nuts because there's a lot of sets out there. But I have my one. I'm moving on. I have control, probably. So what's been going on with you? Anything?
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's see. Trying to think of the highlights. My car data started working again. And then they called me 2 days later and said, hey, we've got the part to fix your car.
Oh my gosh.
And so now I'm in this weird position of, do I tell them that, hey, it started working and cancel the appointment, or do I go in and get it replaced because it did stop working for like a month. So clearly something is wrong, but it just like it got an update and fixed itself. I'm like, I really wish other stuff in my house would do that. That'd be nice. I've got a sink that's leaking, and then don't worry, we'll get a software update on that sink, and that'll take care of the problem. I've got a leaky faucet outside that, I would love
actually
to get a software update on that instead of having to turn off the house water and go tear it apart, which happened this last week.
That totally stinks. And funny that you say that, because I had a similar thing happen. The other night, I went into my bathroom to brush my teeth, and lo and behold, there was water all over the floor in front of the sink. And we just had to have our bathroom redone here because it was old and it was leaking a bit. So it was like, let's just nip this in the bud. And so I was like, what the heck? So I felt under the sink, and I was like, took everything out, and stuff was wet, but the pipes weren't wet. So I'm like, that's weird. So I put a towel under the sink, and I was like, that's a problem for tomorrow, because it was going to bed, whatever. So very responsible home ownership. So then in the middle of the night, I went to use the bathroom, and now there's water all in front of the toilet. And I'm like, what is this about now? Like, how does a leak move? This is bizarre. So then I'm like, is it coming through the light fixture? Like, what's going on? Where's this leak coming from? So I mopped up that. I put the bath mats into the shower. I had like all the stuff from under the sink that I threw away some. I had 2 bottles of distilled water that I put on the floor. I was like, okay. But I had a nagging suspicion that maybe it was the distilled water. They're in those plastic like milk carton type things. But for some reason, I was like, So cleaned it up. Once again, this is a problem for tomorrow. Then I got up in the morning, and in the middle of the floor, there's a puddle. Somehow, one of the distilled water bottles got punctured and started to seep out. And that's what it was. So it kind of did fix itself. It wasn't a software thing, but I didn't have to.
It sounds like you fixed
it. Can you believe it? I did something.
you found the source of the issue and removed it.
I did. I was like shocked. Yes. I was like, look at me using my head. I didn't panic. I didn't call for help. I figured it out all by myself. So.
And it only took a day.
Hey, it took 3 trips to the bathroom, please.
So, an afternoon.
Yeah. So leaks are the worst. So I know you're very handy around your house. So will you try to fix that yourself?
Yeah. In this case, this has actually been leaking for a long time, but it doesn't leak when the water's turned off. It just comes out of the, a part of the faucet that it's not supposed to come out when it's turned on. So it's like, okay, this is a problem that could be put off.
Right. It's probably I put it off. Seal or something, right?
Exactly. Okay. But it's a pain in the butt to turn the water off for the house because I don't have like an indoor knob I can just turn off in the basement. I got to go out to the water meter and, pry open the lid and then, turn it off there, which is kind of a hassle. And I spent maybe an hour doing research because they updated the covers on the water meter. How do I open this thing? And there's some water meter covers have a lock on them. So you got to order a special key to open it up. And so I'm doing all this research. I've got a key from Amazon in my cart. I'm ready to order. And then I think this one doesn't look like it's got a lock. So I took a screwdriver out there and cleaned, all the debris off and stuff and was able to just pop it open. And I'm like, oh, okay. Save myself $10 here, thankfully.
Totally.
And then was able to figure it out. But I was really close to, purchasing crap I didn't need, which is typical of repairs.
100%.
Yes. And you're always thinking that's okay. I'll take this back. And then 3 months later, I forgot to take that back.
They're like, sorry,
so
we won't take that anymore.
Yes, exactly. So then you got stuff just, filling up the garage that you never needed.
Uh-huh.
So I get it all taken apart to find the source of this leak, and it needs a new washer thing. And so I take it down to Lowe's. They don't have the replacement for it. Go to Home Depot, which thankfully is across the street, and as is typical,
totally. I'm
in this country for some reason, they anytime a Lowe's opens up, a Home Depot guy is like, "Oh, we got to get that next property right next
100%.
door,"
and a pet store too, by the way.
Yeah. But Home Depot didn't have it. I'm like, okay. So I had to go online and find this part. And then it took a week to get in. And now it's finally in. But this is a weekend job. So this is what I'm doing with my 4th of July.
Woo! Hopefully there's not fireworks for you. But it's not electrical work. So that's a plus.
Right. But it'll finally be taken care of. But it's just one of those things where it's And the thing was that was annoying was I get into Home Depot and they're like, we're closing in 5 minutes. Get the hell out. I'm like, I'm desperately searching all these little rubber gaskets and stuff like never before. I've got to find this thing. And I'm looking through all of them and they got like 1,000 of them. So I'm like quickly trying to rifle through them. And then the lights go off. I'm like, damn it.
Oh my gosh. That's awful.
So like, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going home, and I'm going to have to turn the water back on and hope that my repair of putting the old thing back in there is not going to have it leaking. And I go home, I turn on the water, and I hear, I'm like, oh no.
Oh
and
God.
then turns out I had just turned on the faucet. And forgot to turn it back
Oh my gosh.
to turn it off. So as soon as I turned it off, it was fine.
Okay.
It hasn't been leaking all this week, thankfully.
Isn't there that stuff, flex tape or something, that like, you can stick it in like if you have a hole in your boat, it'll fix it.
Yeah, I don't own any flex tape. And usually what I found with that kind of thing is like, it doesn't work all that well. Water and adhesives just don't, don't work typically.
So
it has to be dry for it to really work.
Do you remember the commercial when we were kids that was for glue, and it was the guy with the hard hat on, and he was glued to a beam?
Oh yeah, Crazy Glue.
Crazy Glue.
Yeah, or Super Glue. I think it was Crazy
One
Glue.
of them. And it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that. I'm like, Did they ever show his feet? Or was he just...
Right. Well, I think, yeah, they did. But I think some special effects were involved with that for sure.
Yeah. But the as seen on TV stuff is a little suspect at times.
Yeah. This reminds me, and I can say this because the girlfriend doesn't listen to the show, but...
Classic.
I'm going to nitpick for 1 sec.
Feel free. This is
I've got
space.
like 5 containers of glue at home that none of them work. They're all clogged because somebody in the house, could be the girlfriend, could be Gertie, does not put the lid back on glue.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll go, this doesn't work. Order a new $5 thing of like Gorilla Glue or whatever. I'll come back looking to use that glue a week later. It does not work. It's all dried out because someone did not put the lid back on.
Oh, see, that's the worst. Although I did like when it was Elmer's glue and it would get all over and you could just peel it off. Like that was satisfying. But those other glues, like that's just sealed shut. Like you're done.
Yeah, it's done. So if anybody out there is an inventor and is listening, I'm sure I'm not the only one that lives with a person like this. Invent a self-sealing glue that can be reused. Because I have so many of these like containers that have like the glue is just dried in the top, in the lid, and in the the dispenser part, and you can't get the liquid gold out of the bottom of it to use.
And then if you try to
it's ruined.
like even if you try to take the dispenser thing off, then it just pours everywhere, and you're like, now I got it on my fingers.
You can put it. Yes, you could drill into it, and for one more use, you could get that little bit of glue that's left out of there. But then there's no sealing it back up is the problem at that point.
Okay, so this is a good invention. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We need more of these. And if you can invent a self-sealing cereal bag, self-sealing dog food bag.
Right? Because those
and self-sealing glue.
Clips don't work, and folding it over doesn't work.
Forget the Roomba. I just need a robot to follow the other people in my household and make sure that products get resealed after use.
Okay. This feels very specific to you, but also very universal. So I think those are the best.
Anybody like this in your household?
Me. Well, here's what I've done. I have finally moved I put the dry food now in a container, like a Tupperware type container. And so then that's like, okay, done. And then I can scoop it out and that's easier. Cereal, I don't eat. However, things like crackers and that sort of thing, I definitely do just like the roll the bag and figure, it's fine. I never used to use chip clips, but then my mother gave me an inordinate amount of like little clippy things. And so I was basically like, all right, fine. So now I put clips on them. And, I don't know. Something easy would be good. And they have all those things out there. But I'm like, that's just not, it's not, what's the word I'm thinking of? Intuitive. Like, they need like to have a reusable plastic strip on bags of things that you can roll it and then take the plastic and put it over or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all the things that they have are immediately defeated by somebody that just tears open a bag.
Well, there's that.
Never mind that there's a Ziploc on the top of it.
That is very true. You do make a really good point.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, it's so fun. Isn't it fun living with other people?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh my God. I've had to go to the grocery store every day. When I got back here, like last time when we were recording from my San Antonio, California trip, I didn't go to the grocery store at all. Like I didn't go for 10 days. And yeah, sure, it was getting a little like dicey what I was eating, but I was able to make it. The kids have been here for 3 days. I have gone to the grocery store like 4 times. I'm like, oh, so you want dinner every night? Like, what is this? Yeah. So
because you're used to living alone.
Yes. And they're all like, okay, what's next? I'm like, oh my God, again? So yeah. Anyway, so fun to have family. Yay.
Absolutely. Yes. But we love them.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
And you know what else we love? Our sponsor, Veranda Beach. And so we got to take a break so people can hear from them.
Yeah, we do. Let's do it. And when we come back, we're going to talk about cultural blind spots.
Awesome. Everybody stay tuned for more. Don't Ask Me to Talk. Imagine a place where cannonballs are encouraged, marshmallows are mandatory, and just 5 more minutes turns into all day. That's Veranda Beach Resort on Lake Osoyoos, one of the warmest freshwater lakes in North America, located on the border of Canada in Oroville, Washington. The vibe is delightfully old school, with time spent with family and friends at the beach, on the lake, and under the stars. Sounds of laughter, dogs, and screen doors are the soundtracks of your stay. Rent your own fully furnished cottage with Wi-Fi and all the comforts you need. It's the best of then with all the ease of now. Veranda Beach Resort. Come play, stay, and make memories. Visit verandabeach.com now to book your stay. And welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryan.
Hey, and I'm Stacey Heller, and I am excited to be chatting with you. You just heard a ad about Veranda Beach, and just want to remind you that if you're interested in checking it out, you should absolutely go to the website, check things out, give them a call, and you could actually get a 10% discount off your stay if you mention me or Don't Ask Me to Talk.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is the part of the show that we call our cultural blind spots, or our CBS, as we've taken to calling it, which is we're much better than the existing CBS now. That thing has just gone down the drain.
Yes, it has.
It's no longer the Tiffany network. So, and as we like to say, CBS beats IBS
Every day.
Absolutely. So, we devote a segment to remedying the fact that you and I have both sometimes had our heads in the sand when it's come to big cultural moments, whether it be movies, TV, places to visit, food trends, all that stuff.
Yep. Last week I talked about mahjong. I've talked about reality TV. Like there's just stuff out there that you and I, knowingly or unknowingly, have had our heads in the sand.
And now we're crossing some of that stuff off the list. Some of these things I'm never going to get into. Reality TV, for instance, no.
Fair. Honestly, fair.
It's just not going to happen. But when it comes to some classic movies, for instance, or maybe some classic television, or even just some popular but not classic movies or television, I'm crossing these things off my list left and right now and having a good time doing it. And you're doing the same.
I am.
So I'd love to hear about what you have crossed off your list this week.
So I was trying to search around to find something, and I had this big plan with the kids. I was like, hey guys, what's something that you think is a cultural blind spot as a parent? Like, what's something that you think that I should watch? And there was all kinds of chit chat, and they were like, you need to see the movie White Chicks. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to figure this out on my own. So instead,
yeah. I'm with you. I would have said.
I was like, I hear what you're saying. And I watched MASH, the movie from 1970.
Okay. Yeah.
As a kid, I loved.
Good choice. That is on the AFI Top 100.
I didn't realize it when I started watching it. And then I was looking up something about the movie. And it, in the information about it, it talked about how it's on the list. And I was like, oh, look at me, double dipping. I didn't even know.
It's one where I'm not sure that it belongs on the list, but I'll love to hear your opinion of the movie, and then you can tell me whether you think it belongs on the list as well.
So I watched it because I watched the show as a kid. I loved the show.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably way too young to honestly watch it. It's about the Korean War. It's, there's lots of adult stuff going on. And also, these are people that have been drafted for their medical skills and are reluctantly there at their MASH unit. And the movie is obviously...
Yeah, and both the movie and the TV show, even though set in Korea during the Korean conflict, very much a metaphor for what was happening in Vietnam.
Yes. And that's one of the reasons why I think it probably made the list, because this is from 1970. It's the year I was born. So I don't know what was going on at the time, but it very much felt like it was a pretty realistic idea of the craziness that goes on, that, in war movies, it's like everybody's wearing their uniforms and doing what they're supposed to. And,
unless you're Klinger.
Well, right. And, and yet in this movie, it's like all the messiness and this sort of satire, this dark humor. It's about like survival, the fact that they're talking over each other. And, it felt very not real, because, you're not seeing, and I think it was on purpose by the director, Robert Altman. You're not hearing about any specific, battles or mentions of Korea. So that way it really could translate to the Vietnam War. But you're just seeing the day-to-day, like how these folks are needing to survive and pivot when there's incoming wounded, and how they spend their days and their nights, and the relationships that they have, and the bureaucracy and the ridiculousness of it and the hierarchy. And so that was just a really interesting thing to watch. I mean, the humor is like crazy. There's a scene in the movie where the resident dentist is like, guys, there was a nurse and I wasn't able to get it up, and I think maybe I have latent homosexual tendencies. And they're like, what? Like, no. So they have this, he's like, that's it, I'm going to commit suicide. They have this whole scene about this that when it opens up to the scene, they're all like recreating unwittingly, but also the director very much aware, the Last Supper. And it's this whole scene. And it's like, no, this is not anything that's worth this.
And is this the part where the guy sings the song "Suicide is Painless"?
Yes.
Yes, which they adapted with an instrumental version for the TV show.
Yes.
MASH.
And that's what I was looking up. Yep.
Which originally had words,
Yes.
which is "Suicide is Painless."
Yes. It was like, and that's what actually made me go to the internet, because I was like, I think that's the MASH theme song. And I'm like, there's words to this.
Yes.
And so I was looking it all up, and I was like, holy cow. So then ended up doing a deeper dive on the movie. And so it was just.
And for folks that aren't ancient like us, it's hard to overstate what a huge phenomenon the television show was. And the movie, even though considered a classic, completely overshadowed by the success of the TV series,
Absolutely.
which ran from 72 to 83. And the final episode of the show was the most watched event in television history for a long, long time. It might have been eclipsed by a Super Bowl at this point, but that's the level of viewership we're talking about for this show. It was massive. And to think that the theme song was "Suicide is Painless" on the biggest show in the world for 11 years is wild.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes.
And the ending of the movie is way different than the ending of the show. The ending of the show was this like poignant tying up of things, like talking about like the mental health effects of war and going back to family. This was this very like, we're back, we're with our families, like, whatever. So very different. And then I will say, there's only one character that made it from the movie to the TV show. And if you're going to have a character that's going to make the leap, Radar O'Reilly, I'm down with it. I always loved Radar, and that he knew exactly what was on everybody's radar.
Well, I got to quibble with you there, because all the characters essentially made it from the movie to the TV series. But the actor, Gary Berghoff, who played Radar O'Reilly, did make the leap from the movie to the TV series. Whereas in the film, Hawkeye Pierce was played by Donald Sutherland. Elliot Gould played Trapper John McIntyre. Tom Skerritt played Duke Forrest, and Sally Kellerman was Hot Lips O'Houlihan. And Robert Duvall, Major Frank Burns. So these are people that went on to massive, and they're probably in the middle of their careers made this movie, but, super well respected. So for those roles to be played by other actors, and yet now we think of the new actors as being the ones that define those roles is a very interesting thing that's very, very rarely happened in media.
Totally. I mean, Alan Alda just became beloved for his portrayal of Hawkeye, and you don't think of Donald Sutherland really at all. So it was interesting. It was good. It makes sense that it was such a good foundation for the show. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think maybe it was the fact that it had such a different take of war, and that it did show not like the negative, but the dark humor, the survival that you do, the messiness, the whole thing. And
I don't think that we've laid out that this is a hospital unit. Yes. So it's a mobile Army surgical hospital in the middle of a war.
That's what MASH stands for. You're right.
Yeah, you don't see the guys fighting. You see them, trying to deal with the aftermath of people in the fight. Yes. So it's a unique take on war we don't typically see. So I think that was part of the hook of the film and the TV series.
Absolutely. And they don't shy away from some of the atrocities. I mean, you're there with the scene, and clearly these surgeons, as I said, they're drafted. So they were, residents, or they were surgeons in hospitals all around the country, and they find themselves, at this MASH unit in Korea, and you see them with like a saw having to do an amputation, and they're brilliant, but then the conversation that they're having over these medical atrocities are just this sort of witty repartee between them, and it's like, how else are you going to cope with this, right? You're just in something that is really hard. So it was really good. I don't disagree. I don't know that it was AFI, but for the reasons that I mentioned, maybe that's why it's on the list. And it definitely made me nostalgic for my MASH watching days. So,
yeah, I would agree with everything that you said there. It is an enjoyable movie, whether it rises to top 100 status. I personally don't think so. And I personally think maybe the television series, you got 11 years with 30 episodes a season back in the day. So it's much easier with all that time to flesh something out. But I think the TV series might have had balanced the tone maybe even a little better than the movie did. But the movie was the template, so you got to give it credit. But there's a reason we think of the TV series now, and people don't even realize, there was a movie. Right. It's because it's so much overshadowed in both quality and in longevity, the movie that it was based on. And I can count on maybe one hand the number of film adaptions that became TV series that were actually successful. Right.
And then had spin-offs of themselves, because wasn't there a show, Trapper John MD?
There was, and there was After MASH as well. Which lasted like half a season, I think.
They were like trying to bring it back. But, it really spawned like just a whole thing. These characters were beloved, and thus the whole like procedural shows that just became the norm, whether it's in firehouses, police stations, or hospitals. Like, it's like a whole thing. So anyway, that was my cultural blind spot.
Fantastic. Good choice.
Thank you. What about you?
Well, I got to say, I finally watched a movie that you talked about on the show.
Say more.
We watched Whatever Happened to Baby Jane this week, which you talked about recently on the show as one that you had watched. And it's a great movie, directed by Robert Aldrich. And, I enjoyed what you were talking about with the movie, but I really did not. I didn't know what to expect going into this. Despite your saying, hey, this was enjoyable, I there was so many layers that we just didn't have time to talk about that I was still surprised by. So if you're listening to this and you think, oh well, they've covered it all, I don't need to watch the movie now, you're wrong. We only scratch the surface. There's so much more with all these.
We cannot cover all the different things about these movies, good and bad, that strike us. But that was a wild ride, right?
It was, and very enjoyable. And I gotta say, I really thought that the doll, it was going to play a much bigger role in this movie. When they set it up at the beginning of Baby Jane Hudson as this kid star, and she's got her own doll that they sell to people, and it looks just like her, and it's like creepy. I really thought like, oh, this is going to be like a Twilight Zone thing, and this doll is going to be haunted and in some way like possess her or something. And I knew there was, potential for some horror there, but it really wasn't that at all. It was just like she carried all her all her mementos from the time that the short period where she was a successful little performer.
And a little jerk, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then as she becomes overshadowed by her sister, who becomes a big actress. And it's really about their relationship. And there's so much there. Betty Davis as Jane Hudson, baby Jane Hudson, and Joan Crawford as Blanche Hudson. And just, I thought they're masterful performances from both of them. Very enjoyable, and it took some turns that I really didn't see coming.
Right? That ending?
Especially, well, the ending, but before we get to that, I got to mention Victor Bueno, who plays Edwin Flagg, who is a pianist that they bring in because Jane wants to revive her career singing, I wrote a letter to Daddy. The address was in heaven. You know, there's just terrible songs that potentially work if you're 5 years old, but do not work when you're 60-something.
Right.
So there was this level of comedy that I didn't expect watching this thing. And then I was I was laughing out loud at some of this stuff. And then just Victor Bueno, what a interesting actor.
Right?
He struck me as like a Crispin Glover type, where it's like, I don't know if this is good acting, but it's mesmerizing. He's just a weirdo.
Yes, and you can't tell if he's a good guy or creep.
Yeah, well, probably a little of both. But yeah, there's just, it's his presence is just so like, it's just weird, you know, and Crispin Glover is the only other actor I can think of that's like this, that it's just like, there's something about him you just don't, maybe Christopher Walken is another example, where it's just like, their presence is like, is this good acting or is it just mesmerizing?
Yeah.
And I lean towards the mesmerizing part. I don't know that, because I don't see real people acting like this, but at the same time, I don't think like, well, that takes me out of the movie. Right. It's just like, I can't stop watching this guy. He's weird as hell.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I'm
Good
enjoying
call out
it.
on the Crispin Glover. That's like a perfect. You're right. Yes. Yeah. That was an odd little foray into weirdness.
Yeah, and I kept expecting him to like, oh, he's gonna like save the day, but instead he just kind of runs off. I thought it was there would be more to his role there, so that was an interesting choice. And then the ending, when she has already hurt Blanche's character. And basically she's been like freaking her out, so to the point where she hasn't had a meal because she's jealous of her and the attention she gets and the fact that she's going to sell their house. And so she takes her to a beach and they're just there like all night long with Blanche just starving to death on this beach. And you know, and the police are looking for her. And what with the ending with the car stuff, there's an accident that they show early in the film where supposedly it looks like Betty Davis's character has crippled Joan Crawford's character by running into her with her car. Yes. And you don't see who is actually behind the wheel of that thing. So it's kind of mysterious. And then at the end, kind of dying, they show Joan Crawford's character say that she had run over herself, basically, and then blamed it on Betty Davis's character. But is that reality? I mean, as much as the film can be reality, or is this baby Jane's like deluded mind? Because we've got so much like
codependency,
so much evidence of her like being like confused and kind of crazy during the movie. Right. So we don't know, like, has Blanche already died? I mean, she's just imagining that, or did she actually hit herself with the car.
Yeah, I mean, there's a crazy codependency between them, and it's like, just this weird. It was so weird, and I mean, that's why I watched it during my true crime phase that I went through. And it was like, oh, this is so like along those, like this person has had a cognitive schism and like it could go either way. Like you could take the Joan Crawford character for, what she's saying is like truth, or it could be what you're talking about. Yeah, it was odd.
To me, in my mind, that's all in Baby Jane Hudson's mind.
I took it literally.
I think Blanche is already dead. You took it literally.
Literally. I took it that she was like, God, I feel bad that I did this to her. I've been saddling her with this, my whole life. And I kind of did this to her because I was so mad at what a jerk she was and was happy to vilify her.
Well, at that point, Blanche is super successful, and Jane is, contractually making movies because of Blanche's success. So I don't know that pays off for her in any way.
Yeah.
Having it definitely, I mean, being crippled does not pay off for Blanche in any respect.
No.
And blaming her sister doesn't seem to pay off for her in any way other than she needs somebody to take care of her.
Right.
But if that was her gamble, that backfired hugely.
Big time. And then the little bits where you'd have the neighbor who's like living next door, and it would be like, it was just interesting where you would sort of like come to another side so that you were like, okay, let's just ground you in reality for a second. And there's clearly a whole crazy world going on inside this house. And it would take you out for a minute and you're like, oh, okay. And then it would bring you back in. Yeah, I'm so glad you watched it. Yay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was a very fun movie. Some of the acting by some of the non-main players I thought was a little stiff. I'm not sure if that was like a choice on purpose, but that kind of was like the mother and daughter next door. Their acting seemed kind of stiff and weird. The film producer and director, their performance seemed a little bit stiff, but then the main players seemed like that was all very real, despite their heightened weird reality. And I just thought, like, why, as if you're in a wheelchair, would you allow someone to say your bedroom is upstairs?
Right?
It's your house. You pick the ground floor bedroom, even if it means converting the living room.
Literally, I watched, guys, there's like a float plane going over. That's so cool. Sorry, got distracted. I'm so with you. I saw this and I was like, why would you be on the second floor? But you don't have a movie without that. So there's that.
Right.
I mean, the drama and definitely the real life rivalry between those two women, those main actresses. It definitely fueled just that idea that these sisters like had it for each other.
Yeah, and they were both brilliant in their respective roles. I enjoyed very much the two performances. But man alive, I mean, what a creep, right? Baby Jane.
Oh my God, it's the rats. Like, we have rats in the basement, and you just knew what was coming. Yeah, that's some.
Well,
stuff.
And what's coming is that she serves her a dead rat for her dinner. Mm-hmm. After she has already served her dead parakeet for her dinner or for her lunch. Yeah. You didn't eat your lunch. So, because you just killed my pet and served it to me, which is why she's starving at the end, because she's too afraid to eat after this insanity of her serving her pet and vermin. From the house. It's psychological torture, essentially.
Totally.
But, enjoyable.
Totally. Do we have time for any more?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely want to mention this TV series that I watched recently, and we quickly binged the whole thing just because both myself and the girlfriend really enjoyed Widow's Bay on Apple TV.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned.
And we actually started watching this when we came to visit you because you have an Apple TV subscription and we didn't have one at the
You're
time.
welcome.
And we watched like 4 episodes at your house in Veranda Beach. And then when we got home, we're like, God, we really want to see the rest of this. So I got, a free trial for a month so that we could finish watching this. And it is so good. It's so funny, but also spooky. It's a great mix of comedy and horror. And for folks that aren't familiar, it stars Matthew Rhys. And he is the mayor of this small town on an island in New England. There's no tourism for this place because, as we come to find out, it's kind of cursed. But he really wants it to be like the new Martha's Vineyard. So it's got shades of Jaws in it, in that the mayor is like looking the other way with people dying while, because he really wants the tourism. But as we get deeper into the show, we find out, well, he's actually been a victim of this curse and he doesn't want to admit that it's real and doesn't and wants to like break free of it. And he wants to be able to take his son to the mainland to live a normal life.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil too much of this, but it's got all these layers. I got to say, like, after a couple episodes, I was kind of like, oh, I'm a little bummed that this show just admits that the supernatural is real. Because for the first few episodes, there's this like, oh, this could be real, or this could be like in their head, or this could have like real world explanation to it. And we've seen that so many times. And then the writers just go, well, it was supernatural.
Right.
We've seen this so many times. So I was just like, oh, I'm dying for a show where they give you the actual real explanation of something. Mm-hmm. So it's not the X-Files. But in this case, the writing is so sharp and so funny, and so dark and scary at some points that it all works. I've got to save that other idea, I guess, and make it myself. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I want a Scooby-Doo thing where it's not a guy trying to, sell his amusement park or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, and where at the end, it's like, and we would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you kids.
Yeah, where there's a realistic explanation for the horror elements. In this case, it goes deeper and goes to places you definitely wouldn't expect. And some of the funny stuff is just so funny that it really hooks you with that. And then the spooky stuff is right around the corner. And it's, I can't recommend it enough. It's Widow's Bay. Okay. If you're a fan of any of the Stephen King stuff, if you're a fan of Jaws, any of that stuff, you will like this series, I think.
Okay.
So well worth watching. Again, it's on Apple TV at the moment.
Nice.
So, first season, and it has been renewed. So
hey.
That is cool too.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, and good to know that I have an Apple subscription.
Yes. You didn't know that?
No. I stream on a couple streaming services that I know that we have. And then I'm like, well, I guess I don't have anything else. So I don't know what goes on under my own roof. It's terrible. But good to know now.
Well, there's lots on Apple TV that is worth watching. So highly recommend Severance as well. Another good series on there. And your Friends and Neighbors. I've been enjoying the second season of that as well.
Oh, that's on Apple.
With John Hamm.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've been watching that, or we had watched that. And in San Antonio, I didn't realize it was on Apple. The more you know. All right.
Indeed. Well, I think we're out of time for cultural blind spots. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and get into our great debate, our top topic, if you will, which, to remind folks, was whether we think bar soap or Shower gel is a superior choice for our bathing needs. Find out when we come back.
Serious stuff, Eric.
This may be a short segment, but I always say that it ends up not being. So we'll find out what happens after the break. Stay tuned, everybody.
Hey, I'm Stacey Heller. I'm one of your podcast pals, along with Eric Ryder from Don't Ask Me to Talk. Are you liking what you're listening to? Awesome. We would love if you would follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram as Don't Ask Me to Talk. We also are wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can follow us, subscribe, like, rate, whatever it is that you do. You can also email us. That's asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. And if you'd like, text or leave us a voicemail at 475-999-2726. Basically, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
And we're back with more Don't Ask Me to Talk. Eric Ryder here along with
Stacey Heller. So you know how Eric mentioned at the top of the show that it is another exciting episode? It is because these very hot topics, these like big conversations ripped from the headline type things, it is because of that that this show is exciting.
You're reading a lot of bath gel headlines. I just scan right past those because I know they're clickbait.
Yes. I mean, the topic of...
They're just designed to get my blood boiling, and then there's no resolution.
Right?
So.
Exactly. I mean, the great debate between bar soap and body wash / shower gel, it's huge. I mean...
Yes.
It's right up there.
Ketchup versus mustard has nothing on this.
I mean, the Supreme Court is probably in the middle of finalizing their decision on it.
Yes, it'll be a 4-5 decision.
Okay. So, what's your opinion?
Well, wait. You know how we start these segments.
I'm sorry. I got off track. Right.
You're the person that picks the topics that go on the wheel. The wheel picks the topics each week. I spin the wheel. You usually have some kind of inspiration behind why you would add this to the wheel. In this case, maybe we're just short of topics and taking a shower at the time as you were thinking them up. I don't know. Was there any more to it than that?
Yes, of course there is. So, interestingly, my mother is a bar soap girl. And so when she comes to visit, she has to have...
Does she have a favorite brand? Irish Spring all the way, or is it
No, she's a Dove girl. Okay. And so in stocking Veranda Beach and the various bathrooms for when guests come, I typically have I call it body wash. Some people call it shower gel, but whatever. I have a body wash in all of the showers. However, because of my mother and her rating of 2 stars needs improvement because there was no bar soap.
She's on Yelp rating her.
Exactly. So
reviewing your house.
She's like, can't live with this. And she ran out of scotch too. So.
And the host was very rude.
Exactly. So I had to make sure that I have bar soaps around. So now I have them in case guests prefer bars of soap. And I'm always sort of surprised when after a stay that it's opened and that somebody has used it. And so I throw away that bar soap and I get a new one so that it's a fresh new bar for when people come to stay. But it just surprises me because I think, God, does anybody really use bar soap anymore? And maybe if it was like the soap on a rope from when I was a kid, I would use it more because honestly, those were fire when I was a kid. I would get them for Christmas and they were in fun characters. They were on the rope. You could hang them on the sink or the, whatever you call it, the handles for the hot and cold water. It was great. No fuss, no muss. So that's where the topic came from.
Okay. Interesting stuff. I mean, as usual.
Not really, but sure. Yes. Well, there's still so much bar soap out there. And I'm like, I get everybody hasn't gone to the easier side.
Right. Now, okay, so for me, I think that if I'm buying it, I'm buying like shower gel, or body wash or whatever you want to call it. It's in a bottle. It's liquid. I find that easier to use and apply. And then with the bar, it's like, oh well, it'll get a hair on it or something, or it'll get wet and wash away over time. So I'm not getting that full use out of it. But it's probably way more environmentally friendly to use the bar of soap because it just comes in a paper wrapper and it's not a big thing of plastic.
Right.
So packaging aside. My preference is to use the body gel or the bath wash, but I will say that I'm happy to use a bar soap because, again, it's one of these things that who cares? It's just like if that's what's available,
right.
I'm happy to use it. Now, in your case, it sounds like it's much more wasteful because one person uses it one time and then it gets thrown out.
Well, because of what you mentioned, like, I have like little soap dishes, and then there's just something like if it's your own bar soap and you know that it's yourself that's used it, it's fine.
Yes.
But I feel like when you go into a shower and you see the soap that somebody else has used, and to your point, there's the hair, or there's nothing worse than that milky, soapy substance that adheres the soap to the little soap dish or the thing in the shower.
Right.
And you're like
yes.
having a tug of war with the bar of soap, and you're like, oh. And so it is kind of wasteful.
The soap dish itself, too, is annoying because it fills with water.
Right.
There's no way to keep the water out, really. And if it's in a bottle, the bottle gets wet, who cares? It doesn't do any harm. But typically you get a bar of soap and it's just getting washed away every time you shower, regardless of whether you're using it or not.
Exactly.
So then it does become more wasteful.
So I feel like they need to do smaller bars of soap. Like
in a hotel,
right?
Yes.
I'm so with you on this. And it's also why I go back to the brilliant idea of soap on a rope, because then it doesn't make that soapy residue. It's just kind of hanging and drying out.
Yeah. I don't get the fascination with the rope, but
it's just happy memories.
I'll say this. Maybe what you should do is convince your mom to switch to Irish Spring, because apparently with Irish Spring, there's many other uses besides just the shower for it. People use this to keep bugs away. You can chop it up or grate it and put it in little bags and put it in your garden, and it helps keep roaches and flies away. Or you can just suspend a full bar or put one underneath some plants, and it's supposed to keep pests away.
Wow.
There's more than one use for Irish Spring. So
Irish Spring,
which they don't have
soap?
in Ireland. Which they don't have in
Of course
Ireland.
They don't. And they had that.
It's like Outback Steakhouse. No self-respecting Australian has ever gone there, much less been involved with it.
But I totally remember those commercials. The Irish Spring deodorant soap.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm the whole soap thing. It's just tricky. Also, I have taken to using one of those fluffy loofah things to lather up my body, and using the shower gel or body wash is so much easier. You pour a little bit on the loofah, add some water, scrub, scrub, scrub. No fuss, no muss. But I think there are people that, I agree, the waste is crazy. So now we need, in the same way that there's bulk oatmeal, the oatmeal that you usually spill all over the floor when you go shopping.
Right. Yes.
There needs to be bulk shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, because that in hotels, they are just refilling those dispensers that are hanging in the shower. So I'm like, let's do that at stores where you can get your detergent, your hand
just
soap.
come refill your bottle.
Right? Come refill your bottle.
There is stuff like that, but it should be far more widespread.
Another invention. So we've got to work on closures for things for people like the girlfriend. Mm-hmm. and me. And we've got to work on refillable things for soaps and detergents and things.
Yeah, but don't put it in a big bucket that I got to scoop into the bottle.
Because otherwise...
like three scoops of body wash.
Right. Right. Because otherwise we know what's going to happen from that one time with the oatmeal.
Yeah. Let me just use the nozzle and get it out like the peanut butter that I buy.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I just think that is a problem, obviously, with all the plastics that we have and the microplastics and everything and the giant floating island of plastic that's out in the ocean.
Right.
So that's all bad. But the reality is this is the direction that we're going. This is what people seem to like more of. Unless, hey, dear listener, make a case. Tell me what you think. Just saying.
Yeah, or you know what they've come out with recently is the detergent for laundry detergent, if you will, that comes in sheets.
I've seen that.
And it's like these compressed sheets. What if we add like a little compressed sheet of soap, a single-use one? You just pull it off the container and then, use that for your soap and then it's done. Or at most it's 2 showers worth.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so it just, it disposes of itself. I mean, because the other thing with the shower and the body gel is that you're hauling around water. It's like 80% water.
Totally.
So just compress that into a sheet that you can use, and you've got like a washcloth and soap in one thing.
Hey, don't get it
Just
wet.
rub
though.
that on your body.
Don't get the whole thing
No,
wet, or it's all going to be stuck together.
Yeah, not before you're using
right,
it.
Right. Well, if
Yes.
you end up with a leak under the sink, like I did,
Yes. Don't put the box of soap sheets under your sink.
I had to get rid of a box of tissues, a roll of paper towels. Like I was like, this is a mess. But that's a good idea, and I have seen those detergent sheets, and
Yeah, and they work.
yeah,
And it's far less fuel for them to be transported because they're super light, It's like, fabric softener, which you don't need also.
yeah. I don't use fabric softener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for decades, I used those dryer sheets. And then I found out, you can just put these rubber balls in the dryer and never have to buy those again.
Right?
Yes, please.
I know. And they have like all sorts of fun shaped ones that like help with keeping things soft and not so staticky and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, everything old is new again. Sometimes you just got to go back to basics.
Agreed.
Like soap on a rope.
All right. Well,
Brought to you by Don't Ask Me to Talk. It's in the shape of a microphone coming to a store near you.
novelty soap. Well, there's the other thing is the fancy soaps that come in like bars. They're like, botanicals and all
Yes.
this stuff. Every time I think, this smells great. This is nice. This will be a perfect gift for somebody. I'll come back 10 years later
still there.
and it's just sitting there
In
in
the
the
dish.
bathroom, just covered in dust
It's so true.
from a decade of non-use.
It's so true. That
My mom I say, Mom, what would you like? I like for Christmas. And she'll say, I like foo-foo stuff. And I'll be like, okay. So I get her some foo-foo stuff. A decade later, never used. It just covered in dust.
so true. I know exactly of what you speak. Yep. Yeah. Anyway. All right.
boy.
Well, we have once again solved this. And we did it faster than the Supreme Court on their rulings.
Right. And let's find out what we're talking about next week on the big show. And I'm going to spin again because it's a topic that we've already covered. So here's one that we haven't covered. It's utensil MVP, most valuable player, I assume, for utensils.
Yes. This is a big debate.
We're really getting deep.
Dude, these are good conversations. It's always surprising the things that come up.
Yes. Yes. I'm really going to have to think about how to improve the fork.
May the fork be with you.
There you go. And may you have a wonderful holiday weekend. Happy Canada Day. Happy Independence Day. Happy weekend to those who celebrate.
Absolutely. Enjoy and be safe.
Yes, please be safe. And thanks for listening. Have yourself a wonderful week.
Bye, everyone.